You want me to believe that 4.5 billion years ago in some primordial soup, some gaseous liquid, a spark ignited, some molecules coalesced, and a simple amino acid was formed? Well, amino acids are not simple. They're extremely complex. And to think that amino acids could then morph into protein molecules, which are much more complex than amino acids. And to think that protein molecules over vast eons of time could then become a simple single cell organism, such as an amoeba. This is impossible to fathom. We're not talking about mutations causing positive changes. We're talking about mutations causing astronomical changes. Now, what is a mutation, you might ask? Well, a mutation is a coding error in the DNA multiplication or replication process. And almost always, mutations are negative. They don't change things for the better. They change things for the worse. My problem with evolution is 4.5 billion years is much too short to have the amount of positive mutations and increases of knowledge that would have to become 30 trillion cells from a single cell, which is exactly how you started. You started as a fertilized egg cell, one cell. You talk about the eye. How did that one cell have knowledge to know when to become 2 cells, 4 cells, clusters of cells, to form the tiny buds that will become your fingers, your arms, then to begin to form the organs? There was no I in that original single cell, but it had to be pre-programmed to have the knowledge that at a future point in time, certain unknown substances, the nutrients from the mother, were going to come into its sphere of influence. It had to have the knowledge how to break them down, strip apart what it needed, take apart everything, and begin to reformat it. And 9 months later, not only did an eye form, but an ear form, hundreds of different types of cells form, cell differentiation. This is mind-blowing. And to think blind chance could have formed you, that original single cell had all that knowledge to perform all these amazingly complex biochemical processes. And the only way that cell could know, as I've shared earlier, that in a future point in time, certain unknown substances, the nutrients from the mother, were coming into its sphere of influence if it had foreknowledge. And the only way it could have foreknowledge is if there's a God.
Wow. So you have to start with God. If you don't do that and you don't have foreknowledge and you just give credit, evolution ends up being your God. Evolution ends up being the supreme creator idea. Or I guess to put it negatively, the only way evolution can occur is if it happens in your imagination. Is that what you're telling me?
That's true. You need a vivid imagination to come up with evolution.